6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister will pay a 3-day official visit to Kenya from Monday to participate in Africa Climate Summit. Interim Minister for Religious Affairs says caretaker government is utilizing all resources to address issues faced by masses. Pakistan Air Force has showcased its exceptional capabilities at multinational air exercise Bright Star 2023 in Egypt. Azad Jammu and Kashmir President has stressed the need for settling Kashmir dispute in line with the United Nations Security Council resolutions. Chinese President has called for joint international efforts to protect multilateral trade system. In Asia Cup cricket tournament, match between Pakistan and India is underway at Palikhele. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar will pay a 3-day official visit to Nairobi, Kenya from Monday to participate in the Africa Climate Summit. According to Foreign Affairs spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch, Foreign Minister Jalil Abbas Jilani will accompany the Prime Minister in the visit. The visit is taking place at the invitation of President of Kenya, William Ruto. At the summit, the Prime Minister will articulate Pakistan's perspective on the global climate crisis and highlight the national efforts to rebuild in a climate-resilient manner after last year's devastating floods. Prime Minister's key messages in Nairobi would include the need for enhanced climate cooperation at all levels to confront the common challenge of climate change in an effective manner. In Nairobi, the Prime Minister is also expected to hold a series of bilateral meetings with his counterparts from Africa, including Kenya, and with other high-level dignitaries. The Africa Climate Summit is the initiative of Kenya and the African Union. Pakistan's high-level participation in the summit is not only in keeping with its traditionally proactive climate diplomacy, but also in line with the Look Africa outlook for enhanced engagement with countries in Africa. Caretaker Minister for Information and Broadcasting Murtaza Solanki called on a caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar in Islamabad today. During the meeting, Murtaza Solanki briefed the Prime Minister about the affairs of his ministry. Possible strategies for effective representation of Pakistan's positive narrative in the United Nations General Assembly session UNGA 78 to be held next month also came under discussion. The Federal Secretary for Information and Broadcasting, Zahoor Ahmed, and Principal Information Officer, Mohammad Asim Kichi, were also present on the occasion. Caretaker Prime Minister Anwarul Haq Kakar has said cooperation between the Information Ministry and the National Heritage and Culture Division can be very beneficial in promoting art and culture in the country. He was talking to Caretaker Minister of National Heritage and Culture Jamal Shah in Islamabad today. They held discussion on possible measures to promote art and culture. Jamal Shah informed the Prime Minister about the affairs of his ministry. Caretaker Minister for National Heritage and Culture Jamal Shah has emphasized the need to effectively promote culture and tourism activities at local, national and international levels. Talking to a private news channel, the minister said the government has planned multiple initiatives to promote culture literacy activities for youngsters to enable them to be future leaders and effective contributors for society. Replying to a question, he said the government is determined to highlight the heritage, civilization, language, art and culture in a creative and constructive way. He said the government has also planned to introduce state-of-the-art museums in the country, and as initiative spans out, we expect every city will soon have its own archaeological museum. The caretaker Federal Minister for Religious Affairs, Anik Ahmed, has said that the caretaker government is utilizing all resources to address the issues faced by the masses. Addressing a ceremony in Karachi today, the caretaker Federal Minister said that it is the government's responsibility to ensure that people are facilitated in every way. He said that we need to stand strong in the face of adversity and challenges and realize our social and ethical responsibilities if we wish to establish a society that has tolerance and acceptance. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Pakistan Air Force contingent has showcased its exceptional capabilities alongside its JF-17 Thunder fighter jets at multinational air exercise Bright Star 2023 in Egypt. Multinational air exercise Bright Star 2023 kicked off at the Mohammed Najib military base. The exercise aims to promote interoperability among the participating nations, fostering shared learning opportunities. Designed to simulate realistic aerial warfare scenarios, Exercise Bright Star provides an invaluable opportunity for participating air forces to assess their operational readiness in real time. Over the course of 2 weeks, the exercise will bring together air, naval, and ground assets of the participating nations in the desert terrain of northwest Cairo, Egypt. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Masood Khan, has underscored the need for people-to-people relations and stepped up trade with the U.S. state of New Mexico. He said this during a meeting with Mayor Tim Keller of Albuquerque in Washington. During the meeting, he proposed a sister city relationship with Albuquerque, citing Punjab, California, and St. Georgia sister province relations, as well as Karachi-Houston sister cities ties already in place. Azad Jammu and Kashmir President Barrister Sultan Mahmood Chaudhry says fragmentation of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir is not acceptable to people of disputed territory. Addressing a function in Islamabad today, the AJK president stressed need for settling Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations Security Council resolutions, while reaffirming full support to ongoing freedom struggle in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said Pakistani government and people stand in support and solidarity with their Kashmiri brethren in their freedom struggle. New Delhi controlled state investigation agency and forces personnel in its ongoing crackdown against the Hurriyat activists have arrested 2 more innocent civilians in Doda district of Jammu region in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. According to Kashmir Media Service, the SIA sleuths, accompanied by the Indian police and paramilitary personnel, arrested the civilians identified as Firdaus Ahmed Wani and Khurshid Ahmed Malik in false cases registered against them several years ago. The arrested persons have been running their businesses for the last over 30 years. The SIA had arrested 8 civilians, including a government employee, in similar old fake cases on Thursday. Funeral prayers of Major Amir Aziz and Sepoy Muhammad Arif, who embraced Shahadat while fighting gallantly against terrorists during intelligence-based operation in the general area of Miranshah, North Waziristan, were offered at Bannu. Senior serving military and civil officials and public attended the funeral prayers. In a statement, the ISPR said, Armed Forces of Pakistan stand resolute and committed to eliminate the menace of terrorism from the motherland at all costs. China calls for joint international efforts to protect the multilateral trade system. In a video address, Chinese President Xi Jinping said China will strengthen the linkage of development strategies and cooperation initiatives with other countries in trade, services, and digital commerce. China plans to promote innovations and exchanges in the service sector together with other countries through Belt and Road Initiative. In Iraq, 16 persons have been killed in a road accident during a religious gathering. Provincial Health Authority spokesman Ahmed Al-Jabouri said the vehicle carrying the pilgrims slammed into the parked truck in Babil province in south of Baghdad. Hockey. The final of World Cup qualifiers men's hockey 5S Asia Cup is to be played between Pakistan and India at Salalah today. The match will start at 7 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. And now cricket. In the third match of Asia Cricket Cup against Pakistan at Pellikele, India were 173 for 4 in 33.3 overs a short while ago. Earlier, India won the toss and elected to bat first. Weather. Mainly hot and humid weather is expected in plain areas of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pothohar region, Islamabad, Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log in on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.